Hello, welcome back to another Planet Coaster Challenge video. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought it would be a good time to do another one, and since I've just been to Wallaby, Belgium, I have ridden my first ever Vekoma Boomerang. And during that vlog, I'm really sorry I can't remember who your name was, but someone in the Premiere chat said, why don't I do a Vekoma Boomerang designed in 2023, that is a challenge video. I thought it was such a good idea. If you've ever watched any of these challenge videos before, please comment below any challenges you might have, and they might get made. That's how I get most of my ideas, through you guys. So yeah, if you've got any challenge ideas, please do let me know and I might be able to create one someday. But yes, today we are making the Vekoma Boomerang in 2023. So I rode my first one the other day at Wallaby, Belgium, and I did not like it. I don't know how to describe it. The layout's not particularly great, as you can see. It's very efficient in doing what it does. I didn't think it was forceful, but it wasn't the force that really bothered me that much. It was more just how abrupt some of the transitions were, and especially because of these disgusting OTSRs. Like, I just got absolutely thrashed by those, especially on the exit going backwards for this Overhaul. Around here I got like the worst headbang that just annihilated my right ear. That completely turned it to mush. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of these, so I'm going to recreate the Boomerang, but as if it was designed in 2023. So the few adjustments I'll be making is chain lifts, I think, kind of are getting phased out, especially on the newer Vekomas. They either have, I know there's a couple that still have chain lifts, but most of them now are either having drive tyres or LSM, so I'm going to get rid of those because it's just moving parts. So this one will have a multipass launch through the station. And the only other problem I have is, in the game, the Vekoma track doesn't have multipass launches. Even with mods, you can't multipass launch it. The only multipass launch you can have in the game is the Schwarzkopf one, which doesn't really work too well because you have to roll it forward out of the station, then launch it backwards, sort of thing. So the one I'm going to go with is actually the Mac one. And you're probably wondering why there's no track with the stations, because I'm using the mods to do this. There is a coaster I think you can do a multipass launch with in the game, which is the Torque coaster model, but I just prefer the way this one looks. And the trains are a little bit more accurate to the new Vekoma ones. I know the new Vekoma ones you kind of have to step into, and they've got like a vest harness. And the Zero car is a bit more like moulded into the first cart. But anyway, this is kind of the closest I can get, so you'll just have to imagine for the rest of the video that you're seeing some very nice looking new gen Vekoma track, and not the Mac track. But anyway, this is how I will make a Vekoma Boomerang designed in 2023. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start by moving the coaster over so I can kind of position where it'll be, sort of thing, in relation with the old one. First off, I'm going to launch the coaster. So if I put it in, I can't remember which one it is. Is it lapping? I can't remember. If I edit and go into the coaster, I can put in the so it should multipass launch to the station, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. But I think I'll put a 4 meter piece at the start, because it'll launch forwards out of the station first. Hopefully. This is all a bit of an experiment, because I can't remember how this works. So I'm going to leave that like that, because it's going to launch out of the station first. But coming out the back of the station, what I want to do is something completely mental. Don't know whether this will actually work or not, but we'll give it a go. So it's going to come out the back of the station. I'll put that one flat trapeze there. It's going to rise into this part, and instead of just going up like that, I'm going to have it instead kind of do a bit of a stall. I really don't know if this is going to work, but we're not going to find out unless we do it. So when we turn, let me turn angle snap on so I can get that 180. But it's what we're going with. I might actually reduce the angle of that in a bit, I don't know. But yeah, so it will launch out the station backwards, probably forwards first, I don't know. Launch out, go back in to the stall, and then I'll launch back forwards again. And I'm going to go with, oh, what do we do? We could do some sort of really wacky Vekoma element that they kind of do now, because there's some interesting elements that they do. So I think I'm going to sort of bring it out into like an Immelman almost. Turn angle snap back off. It's like an Immelman stall thing, like the one on what's it called? The Phoenix at Joe's, is it Summerland? I can't remember where it is. So come out the station like that. Start to spiral down. It connects back up. Obviously, none of these transitions are final. I definitely need to go back and change some of these. But that's what the smoothing tool's for. There we go, so it's pretty much back down to ground level. There we go. And now I'm going to move it a little bit further away from the old one just so we can see what we've done. And then, of course, once I've done that, I can give it a test. I don't know whether the speed will be enough to actually send it through or not. Yeah, so it goes out first, launches backwards with nowhere near enough speed. So if I've got all of the station, I can set the target speed going out for probably 50. We'll put 50 at, yeah, 50 at 7. Entry and exit speed I'm going to put at 12. Because they won't come into play until like right at the start and right at the end of the road, which is fine. And reverse target speed I'll put on 45 at 6. Let's see if that's enough. Start the test. So it comes out. So we'll pretend it launches back out of the station first, which it needs to go a bit faster to get all that spike. Into the spike. Yeah, that's much better. And then it should, I think I'll need to turn this on shuttle launch. There we go. So station pass needs to be on 3. Let's see it test. So it should shoot out backwards, do the spike, get loads of hang time looking straight down as well. That'd be so cool. Goes straight back. Oh, never mind. It doesn't go through the station. Why doesn't it go through the station? Stop at station pass 3. That's what I've just done. Why is it not? Okay, now it is. Yeah, that needs to go forwards quicker. What is going on? It makes the track launch section invisible. I have no idea what is going on with this coaster. There we go, so it's coming through the station, 42, gets up to about 45 max speed, does a stall at pretty much perfect speed, then comes down and can do the rest of the layout. Right, that's perfect. We have the first part of the coaster finished. So the next part will be deciding what comes next. I'm actually going to raise the height of this just a little bit, just to make sure that it gets through it at not only just an alright speed, but an alright intensity as well, because obviously I don't want this part to be too intense. Then after this, we've already had some sort of a stall, another sort of a stall, so probably shouldn't have a stall, but I'm probably going to put in just a little speed hill. This is going to be very sort of different to the normal Vekoma Boomerang, but that's what we want. We don't want it to be the same. That track is not straight. Why is it not straight? I don't want this to be like very similar to an older Boomerang, because that's the whole point. It's going to be very different. It's a newer style, and newer Vekoma are coming up with some really cool things, so I feel like this would be the sort of thing they'd be quite on board with. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this into dive loop. So it's going to come up here, start to twist as it goes down. It's alright, and it starts to come down like that, doing, you know, what dive loops do. Yes, definitely going to need to be small. And you kind of bring the dive loop down, make sure it's on 180. There we go. So once we've got our dive loop in, which is a bit of a weird shape actually, but I can go back and edit that afterwards. Once we've got the dive loop, I'm going to grab sort of probably from about here, if it'll let me, and then bring it over to this side, and I can keep doing that. So you kind of get a bit of a sideways ejector as you come into the top of this element from there, which is exactly what I wanted. So it's going to be a bit of a weird dive loop. Obviously I need to go back and smooth that because it looks interesting. Make sure that's still on 4 meters, and then hopefully that is not in line with that at all. Never mind. I'm going to have to bring this over a little bit. Well, probably more than a little bit actually. Bring that over like that. There, that's better. These are like some old style Vekoma transitions. What's going on? There we go. That's about where I want it. Kind of in line with the spike that we did earlier. So it lines up like that. Then once you have your Immelman, I'm going to bring this up into another spike. Doesn't that look cool? Then you got the 2 spikes that are kind of perfectly in line with each other, actually. I might need to put another piece of track on there. Oh no. So, anyway, this is the layout. Very, very different to the original, but that's the whole point. I don't want it to be the same as the original. It's a newer version. It's not really a remaster. It's kind of like a Vekoma Boomerang Gen 2, almost. This will be built, obviously, in design sort of this year, so you can imagine this with Vekoma Track, but this is the closest we can get in-game, even with mods, unfortunately. So, does it stall? Does its second stall? Then does a little speed here, which definitely needs calming down. That ejector would throw you. Then you do your Immelman into your actually beyond vertical spike. If that does that work? Yeah, because it's vertical is 90, so that's technically, is that upside down? I don't know. Then it goes back through that. This will be a good actually test to make sure it actually gets back to the station. Does it? No, it doesn't. Anyway, I will get smoothing and editing this to make sure it actually returns back to the station, which would be useful. And I will probably custom support this as well. So that's it. We have the coaster, we have the design. This is a bit of fun but short video. I didn't actually realise how fun building shuttle coasters actually is. There might be one in not this next park, Voyager's Adventure, but I might have to build one in the next park afterwards, which I've already started, by the way. Is that bad? I've already started the next park after the one that isn't even finished. I need to just finish parks. Anyway, I'll get on with this. Thank you so much for watching. I will leave you with some nice cinematics and then the POV of this custom Vekoma Boomerang that's 4 meter smoothed, and hopefully custom supported if I have the time. So thank you for watching. Again, like I mentioned, if you've got any more challenges you'd like to see me do, please pop them in the comments. I always read and respond to every single one of the comments, so pop them down below and hopefully I can make your idea into a challenge video. Thank you again for watching. See you next time.